welcome. Welcome to the village, everyone. Welcome. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Welcome again. I am Dr. Roz, CEO and founder of the Village Leadership Group, and I want you guys to get excited about going back to school. Now, we have to motivate ourselves, motivate our team, motivate our students and parents so that we can get ready to go back to school. Now, some of us are already back to school. You guys are doing your thing, and we are praying for you. We're cheering you on. Do your thing. You're going to have a great year. You got this. That's the topic of our discussion today. You got this. That means we are going to encourage you guys and motivate you so that we can have a great school year. All right. So I have an exciting author and someone who's going to come and join our discussion today. So, again, we want you guys to share, like, and follow the village. Come on in, all right, and join us as we get prepared and ready and motivated to go back to school, all right? Again, welcome to the village, all right? We're all about empowering and encouraging teacher leaders, all right? So join the village. All right. So let's welcome our guest, Pamela R. Brown. Come on into the village. Welcome to the village.
Hey, Dr. Ross. I'm so happy to be here with you and the village.
Yes, yes. So I am so excited to have you. I heard about your journal. I already ordered the journal. I can't wait to get my copy. And the reason why I'm excited is because I need to motivate myself. I need to know that I've got this. And I love the title, You Got This. So, Pamela Brown, again, welcome to the village. We're going to talk about your amazing journal of affirmations and scriptures. But first, we want to know who is Pamela R. Brown. So, introduce yourself to the village, please.
Well, again, hello, Dr. Ross. Hello, the wonderful educators and administrators of the village and other supporters. My name is Pamela Brown, and I'm elated to be here with you on this evening. I am a native of Annapolis, Maryland. However, I grew up in Prince George's County, and from there did some studies of journalism at Towson University. Then it was Towson State University. Pursued my master's degree at Lincoln University of Pennsylvania, and currently pursuing a doctorate degree in higher education at Morgan State
Whoop, whoop.
University. Yes, home of the Bears. So I am excited. I really have a passion, especially as well for my background in higher education, but for educators and administrators as a whole, and how we have taken on a whole new realm of the perception of education and parenting and what that partnership looks like.
Awesome, awesome. So I want to get right to it. Again, you talked about, first of all, you talked about being at Morgan. So I just have to shout that out to all my Morgan Bears. Go Bears. So I did my undergrad at the Morgan State University.
The
So
Morgan State.
yes. So I am a proud alumni of Morgan State. So kudos to you, Dr. Brown, soon to be
Thank
Dr.
you.
Brown. So I want to hear from you again. We've all gone through this pandemic and we've had different traumas and different challenges because of the pandemic. And now we need to transition going back to school. And we know that our students, our parents, colleagues, even our own, ourselves, we have anxieties, we have fears, we have things that's on our minds. We're like, oh my goodness, how am I going to get through this? So, how do we stay motivated? How do we stay encouraged, even though we've been through so much? And we know that the people that we're working with, they've been through a lot too. So, how do you encourage yourself? What advice do you have for us?
Well, Dr. Raj, you captured a whole lot in that statement that you just shared about, what's currently going on with us. And one thing I always share is mindset is everything. Your
Mm,
mindset is everything. And life is life. So even before the pandemic, we had life issues going on, right? I mean, we're dealing with stress.
Definitely.
You know, you have boundaries that are extended from other responsibilities, obligations, work, home life, what to fit in some me time. We've always had a lot going on, but it's something about the conditioning of your mindset. And rather than reacting, how do we respond? So you say, well, how do we do that? It's our going into our mindset. It's what that two-letter word that I often tell people, that the no,
Ooh, I
being able
love
to
no.
say no. And as a small of a word it is, it has a lot of big power. So setting boundaries and maintaining those boundaries, for educators, it takes a lot of courage in the 21st century to be an educator. So it takes courage, consistency, competence. You have to know yourself and be able to set those boundaries and have, I don't want to use the word balance because balance shifts, but being able to embrace yourself for who you are and accepting others for who they are as well.
Love it, love it. So one of the things that we talk about a lot within the village is about self-care. So that's one of the things that I want to talk about because self-care is so important and we have to be intentional about self-care. So that's actually one of the banners that I have up and I want to put that on there because it's so important. Be intentional about self-care. And so again, we've talked about this before within the village because self care has to be planned out. If it's something that you do by
Mhm.
accident, was it really self care? Are you really loving yourself and valuing that time to really take care of yourself? So be intentional about taking care of you. And I am guilty of that. Sometimes we get so busy with the work that we don't pause and really schedule out time to take care of ourselves. So I want to hear from you. Um, Miss Brown, what do you do for self care and how valuable is self care?
Self care is absolutely priceless. You can't put a price tag to it. And honestly, Dr. Oz, if I could write a script or an action plan and sell that self care bottle on the shelf, I would be a billionaire by now. But self
Exactly.
care looks different to each of us. So, what it's going to take for me might be something different for you. For me, self care is more than personal maintenance. If I splurge and take an extra 15 minutes in the shower, and have some
Mm-hmm.
Zen music going on and a candle just for Pam, that's part of my self-care. I love nature. So walking in parks, just looking at the squirrels run, listening to the trees. I say the trees have a way of speaking to us. The wind, listening to the crackling, especially as we're approaching the fall season. So as the leaves change and you look at just the majestic scenery that we have. I love also being
Mm-hmm.
near water, the power of being near water and ocean and hearing that. So being able to calm yourself, finding whatever that means is for you. But like you said, be intentional about it. Just like we schedule medical appointments for our children, getting them to practices here and there, for our employers, we're set appointments for yourself. I say make a date with yourself, but look, don't break it.
Yes. Now, I want to talk to our school leaders, our teacher leaders, and also our administrators. We also need to be intentional about our self care and also checking in with members of our school, of our team, to make sure that they're taking care of themselves. If you see someone and they seem stressed or burnt out this school year, pull them to the side and say, hey, when was the last time you took a day off? Or when was the last time you took a walk in the park or did something fun for yourself? And just make sure that we're intentional about taking care of ourselves and looking out for those colleagues who may be, so in the trenches and not thinking about their self care. So we really want to be intentional about taking care of
Mhm.
ourselves and looking out for our for others as well. Even with our students, if you see different signs of stress or they're getting easily frustrated, again, see if they can talk to a counselor. give them a timeout where they can just journal or draw. So we really have to be diligent about taking care of ourselves and helping others to monitor their stress level as well. It's so important as we go back to school this school year to take care of ourselves
Yes.
and monitor the stress level of our parents, I'm sorry, of our students and our colleagues as well. All right, so that is again one of my favorite things is talking about self-care because I'm preaching to myself. I need to be more intentional about taking care of me and making sure that the members of my team are doing the same. All right, so the next thing that we have to do is encourage ourselves and motivate those around us. So you have to be that cheerleader sometimes. Look in the mirror and cheer yourself, give yourself a little pep talk and also encourage the members of your team. And for school leaders, that is so important that we, inspire our team, our teachers on our team, that they can really do the work because we know that, there's some things that's going to be challenging. We're going to hit some bumps in the road, but we need to stay encouraged and stay motivated. So encourage yourself and your
Yes.
team. That is so, so critical. All right. And then, with that being said, there's power in affirmations. So,
Mhm.
again, that is something that I need to do better with. But there's power in affirmations, and we hear that so often. We talk about mindset and changing our mindset and really making sure that we start our day with positive affirmations and changing the way that we think, so kind of keep us motivated when times get
Yes.
hard. So this is where I need your help because you wrote a whole journal full of affirmations. So tell the folks about this journal and let them know, hey, you got this.
Well, thank you so much. If you don't mind, I'd like to pull an affirmation and a quote right from the journal.
Please do so.
This is one of my favorite ones that we all have to live by. It says, "Be aware of your emotions and manage them."
Mm.
And the quote is by Roy Bennett. It says, "You cannot control the behavior of others, but you can always choose how you respond to it."
Good words to
So,
live by.
strong words to live by. When we talk about, especially from an educator's perspective, emotional intelligence. And emotional intelligence is, understanding your own emotions, managing them, and then how does that drive our thinking and how does that drive our behavior? So just knowing that okay, this journalist says to me, how am I going to manage my emotions? Well, one thing, a journal exercise that I do with folks is gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. If you start in your journal, and the journal is very free flowing, there's not a lot of formal structure to it, which a lot of people work better with. But I say start in your journal and just write at least three things that you're grateful for about today, and you start that practice every morning if you can, or two times a week, or three times, whatever that routine that works for you. But you'll notice when you start really adopting those grateful practices, you're like, it might be challenging, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. Or you might find that I'm not the only person that's enduring this. I'm not alone in this situation. Or Dr. Ross, she said that she made it through that situation. So now this year in my classroom, I'm piggybacking on what some of her lessons that she learned. So a matter of grow, how am I growing forward? And those are the kind of things that you capture in a journal. Your journal is like, how would I describe it? Your journal is like your pact or your promise to yourself, a bit your ability to express your feelings, but also to help organize your thoughts and your plans.
Awesome, awesome. So again, your journal, the title, you got this. Why did you decide to name your journal or give it that title? You got this.
Well, Dr. Ross, I have a background in behavioral health for almost 20 years. And for that time of working with clients and counselors over the years, and I used to always tell my clients, no matter what the situation is, we'd be talking about it and working out plans, and I would seal it by saying, you got this. You're going to make it. You got this. And I'll tell you, some years ago, I shared an office with an office mate, good friend. I mean, he was a psychologist, became more like family than friends. And after 3 days after coming back from a weekend, he didn't show up to the office. And I'm like, where is he? He didn't let me know that he was going to be off. Where is he? So my assumption was, he's just got either, he got busy with something. Well, to my dismay, my supervisor came into my office on that third day that he wasn't in and shared with me that he committed suicide
Wow.
over that weekend. And I was devastated, emotionally devastated. Like I said, we shared an office, we shared physical space
Mm,
together, intellectual capital bouncing off of each other. But I was also asked that I put together his items at the time for his family members. And so I went through his desk and so forth, and he had a journal, a work journal, where he had post-it notes and all his little notes and things. But one of the last entries in that journal was, helpers need help too.
wow.
Helpers need help too. Educators need assistance too. We're
Definitely.
human. We need support. We have our own families. We have our own medical concerns. We are human beings as well. So that I said, well, okay, I'm telling everybody else you got this, but then it became a practice to tell myself, hey, you got this. And does that mean I'm perfect? Absolutely not. But going back to what you said, I'm affirming my thoughts, I'm affirming my practices, I'm exercising more. What are the resources to help me to get through this?
Definitely. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that story. Again, reminding us that regardless of our position, we need help. We need a support system. We need a village. And I love it. We need people around us that's going to help us and support us, and also let us know when we need to take a break, or when we need to really check in and be like, hey, something is off. I'm not really feeling it. Because again, we do some amazing things as educators, and this is important work. And if you're passionate about education, then you're all in. We're giving our 110% or 200%, and it can become stressful. So we also have to learn how to enjoy what we do,
Right,
have fun, and again, give ourselves some grace. And we definitely want to, as we go into this new school year, look out for each other. And I love that. That, like you said, we need help, and I love it. And so we definitely have to work collaboratively, work together as a school family to take
right,
care of one another, take care of our students, and work as a community, even working with our parents as well as we're transitioning back to school and still dealing with the pandemic. It's not over. So
right,
there's still some ups and downs, some fears, some anxieties that we have. I was at work today and we have a summer program that's ending, and a student talked about, how to social distance, and he was worried about making sure that each area of the school would have hand sanitizer.
mm,
This is one of his fears, is that he would not be safe. So again, we need to listen to our students, listen to our colleagues, understand their fears, and have those relationships where everyone can really lean on one another and support each other during this time. So I love it. So we have to tell ourselves and our colleagues, hey, you got this. And we're not just saying, empty words. We really mean it, that they do got it.
absolutely.
Why? Because we're going to work collaboratively. We have their back. Okay. And we're going to have tools in place to give each other support. And I love what you're saying, just sharing our thoughts and really writing down our feelings, our reflections is so critical, because sometimes you're just going through the motions and you don't pause to really kind of do a check in with yourself. Like, wait a minute, how am I feeling? You know what? I am having anxiety today. Or, the reason why I was short with my child or my husband is because I'm really thinking about all the different things that's going on at home. So having that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20 minutes to kind of stop and reflect and journal is priceless. So we definitely want to pick up some great tools and strategies for for us during this time to kind of woosah
Yes.
and
Yes.
affirm ourselves, motivate ourselves to say, hey, you got this. So I love it. So, Ms. Brown, what else? Any final words and tips and advice? That was great. But before we move on, anything else that you want to share with the village?
We had a sidebar conversation, Dr. Ross, and I tell you, I get tickled because of, again, of outside of an educator's perception, people think that we are superheroes. They think that the teachers are they're just superheroes. They can do nothing wrong. They are just an alien species of wonder. And that is true. But to maintain that human touch, like you were saying, even to be able to, from a colleague to a colleague, to be able just to ask for help without you asking, well, what you need or what is it that's going on. Hey, if I just say, could you watch my classroom, or let me call and get some help, or whatever it might be. But being able to create that safe space zone for people to
Definitely.
even feel comfortable to ask for help without it, being looked upon as having a deficiency, or what's wrong with her, or what's going on with him. Hey, I just need a break. And unlike some other professions, we don't get to call out sick, or to be able to, to use those mental health days, or, we don't have that leisure. We really have to oftentimes think about, is it really necessary for me to be off? So when we can, like you said, as the village supports each other, it's even more important today because we are still living through and working through a global pandemic. And people have a lot of anxiety now with the Delta variant. There's a lot of
Yes.
uncertainty. People are dealing with isolation. So there's a lot that we're contending with.
Definitely, definitely. So it's so important that even though we know the challenges, that we also know the solution. And so the solution is that we need to work together and really work, like you said, as a village, as a school family, and really support one another. Dr. Sharon Porter, a member of the village school leader in the DMV area, she said it best. She said, we got to lead with grace. As school leaders,
Yes.
check in with the teachers, check in with your staff, make sure that they're okay. So we talk about our, the emotions and mental health of our students. We also need to have those same strategies and, different tools for teachers and staff members as well. So you've got this, guys. We have it because we're going to work together. Together, we're stronger. All right. So take care of yourself and take care of each other. All right. So, how can we follow you on Pamela Brown on social media? How can we get our hands on the journal and all that good stuff?
Oh, well, I can be followed on Instagram at Power Up Life Boss. Also, folks can reach out to me on my website. The website's www. Pamela R. Brown, and my Brown has an E. You got to make sure you include that E.com. You can reach out to me there. I am more than welcome to have conversations, workshops, trainings, discussions, whatever we need to know, Dr. Ross, that we got this. I got
Excellent.
this. You got this. We got this. Because our students, our parents, our guardians, they're all looking at us and how are we managing things. And from a student's perspective, when they walk into those classrooms, into those school buildings, those young folks are looking for stability, and they're looking to be in a safe place.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Listen, I feel encouraged and empowered because I got this. So thank you so much for joining the village. Thank you so much. And don't be a stranger, all right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm here, Dr. Ross. I'm here. And congrats and thank you for your leadership and what you're doing because it truly takes a village to take care of the village. And we're
I know
here.
that's right. Thank you so much. Take care and go Bears. Well, guys, I hope you felt that encouragement, all right, and that motivation to keep on going. Those of you who are already back to school, again, kudos to you. You can do it. You got this. You know that, just know that you have a whole village here to support you and encourage you, also to pray for you. So again, if you need anything, reach out to the village. Reach out to the village so that we can figure this thing out together, because together we are stronger. All right. And those of you who are school leaders, listen, let's lead with grace. Give ourselves grace, and give your team, your teachers, your parents, your students grace as we go into this new school year. All right. Let's get excited. Let's get motivated about it. All right. All right. And remember, you've got this. All right. So teacher leadership is a mindset, not a position. Don't forget that. And continue to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Village LG. See you next time.